In this video, we're going to look into the concept, is Bitcoin safe now, with Blackrock's the world's largest asset manager stepping in and saying, I want me some Bitcoin. Stay tuned, it's going to be fantastic. Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS and the inventor of the CTKS method, the world's most powerful smart money buy and sell level detection system. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back CTKS family. Let's run the numbers. In this video, we're going to talk about Blackrock's S1 registration with the Securities Exchange Commission for an iShares Bitcoin Trust. That is a really long document, 102 pages in length. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager and has trillions of dollars of assets under management. As at April 14th, 2023, BlackRock had assets under management, or AUM, of nearly $9.1 trillion. As the world's largest asset manager files with the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, the iShares Bitcoin Trust is all about that trust buying Bitcoin. And who is it buying Bitcoin from? It's buying it from Coinbase. And who is the trustee, the Bitcoin custodian for the trust, responsible for the safekeeping of the Bitcoin owned by the trust? You guessed it, Coinbase Custody Trust Company. It wasn't just 10 days ago when the Securities Exchange Commission charged Coinbase with operating its crypto asset trading platform as an unregistered national securities exchange, broker and clearing agency. Now BlackRock is using them. As the Bitcoin custodian for the trust, this is very significant. There's a lot of data in those 102 pages. A lot of people have been asking, what does the iShares Bitcoin Trust actually do? The trust buys Bitcoin through Coinbase. Coinbase is the custodian of that Bitcoin. The trust isn't registered under SEC or CFTC law, even with this S1 registration form. This particular paragraph tells you right up front, the trust is not an investment company registered under the US Investment Company Act of 1940. The sponsor is not registered with the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, as an investment advisor and is not subject to regulation by the SEC in connection with its activities with respect to the trust. The trust is also not registered as a commodity pool for purposes of the U.S. Commodity Exchange Act of 1936. The sponsor is not subject to regulation by the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. One thing that this 102 pages gives away is the trust found a loophole, and it's a very interesting one. The trust is an emerging growth company, as that term is used in the Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act or the Jobs Act, subject to reduced public company reporting requirements under US federal securities laws. What does that mean? It means actually a couple of very interesting things. They are not required to comply with auditor attestation requirements. They have reduced disclosure obligations regarding executive compensation. In the trust, periodic reports and audited financial statements in the prospectus. There are another couple of exemptions which are pretty interesting. They have an exemption from any rules requiring mandatory audit firm rotation and auditor discussion and analysis unless otherwise determined by the SEC. For this reason, it is likely that the SEC rubber stamped this application. Something to note, the trust was formed on June the 8th, 2023. It already is in existence. The iShares Bitcoin Trust will use authorized participants, which are registered broker-dealers, to create and redeem shares on a continuous basis, but only in baskets of 40,000 shares. Those shares will be traded under the NASDAQ. BlackRock does address the Coinbase issue with the SEC, and it says, The SEC's complaint against the relevant Coinbase entity does not allege that Bitcoin is a security, nor does it allege that Coinbase Inc.'s activities involving Bitcoin caused the alleged registration violations, and the Bitcoin custodian was not named as a defendant. One thing that this particular paragraph talks about, and it's a pretty big paragraph, it talks about if the SEC wins the case against Coinbase, what could be the outcomes of that? The SEC could be seeking a permanent injunction. An injunction is to stop doing something. A permanent injunction is to stop doing it forever. The SEC could be after disgorgement. What is that? Disgorgement is predicated on the concept that investors have been misled and securities fraud has occurred. Therefore, the SEC would ask Coinbase to pay back all of the profits from those activities. Disgorgement isn't a punitive measure. It's really basically just re-establishing the status quo. But in this case, it would be a very considerable financial penalty as well. For many reasons, the SEC is going to have a hard time. Coinbase has been requesting a license for 2 years and is being consistently stonewalled by the SEC. The SEC has a contributory negligence action against it, well, should have one, by Coinbase lawyers. This particular filing goes into the concept, what if Bitcoin is determined to be a security? If that was the case, the trust could be considered as an unregistered investment company under SEC rules. If that happens, the trust would need to liquidate, which means go out of business. If that occurred, the trust and the sponsor may be deemed to have participated in an illegal offering of securities, which could force the sponsor to liquidate the trust. As a result, if the SEC or a federal court were to determine that Bitcoin is a security, it's likely that the value of the shares of the trust would decline significantly and that the trust itself would be terminated, and if practical, its assets liquidated. Blackrock is one of the world's, well, it is the world's largest investment company, has a tremendous amount of political influence. For a wide variety of reasons, and especially the exclusions that this particular registration statement goes through and says, it is very likely that this could be approved by the SEC. Blackrock has been very, very intelligent how it's worded this particular documentation. Brilliant how it's structured the deal underneath the hood. I personally give it a 90% probability of being acted upon, of being made real. What would this actually do to the crypto market? Remember that BlackRock is a powerhouse globally. We can see in Bitcoin's price, we've had positive momentum. Bitcoin is currently 25,531. It's currently below that smart money sell level of 25,554. Even BlackRock can't crack market structure. But that is not to say it won't happen. It could very well happen. I am very proud of Dennis, who put out on Twitter that he filled an order and sold it for 9% profit using the CTKS method and Borsog, buy on red, sell on green. Dennis, you're a legend. These lines on the chart are marked up through the CTKS method, which is the world's most powerful smart money, algorithmic and institutional buy and sell level detection system. And it applies to any price chart. CJ said, "Your system, the CTKS method, has revolutionized the way I trade Forex. The consistency of evaluating high percentage and probabilistic moves is amazing. After being educated in the masterclass, which allowed a great understanding how all the world's markets function together, adding the CTKS method, which allowed me to mark up any chart, then adding the method service, it has cut years and I'm sure tens of thousands of dollars of losses off my learning curve. Your education system and the method is the greatest purchase I've ever made." Thank you so much, CJ, for your kind words. Forex is a fascinating area. When we look at the euro, it's currently 109.384. There's an algorithmic smart money resistance level at that 109.527 mark, and it's having a lot of trouble getting through that, but it did an incredible rally up from this strong money, strong algorithmic support at 108.928. This was an incredible ride if you managed to get in on it. And a big thank you to Brett. Hi Ken and Kate, like the video. Yeah, I'll smash the like button. But is there a love button? Because this content deserves much more than just a like and a subscribe. Thank you everyone out there for helping Ken and Kate to grow the channel. You are all filled with positive excellence. Brett, what a beautiful thing to say, my friend. And if you're enjoying the content, a like would be very much appreciated. One thing that we saw with dollar yen, what happened? There was a tremendous amount of smart money resistance above that 141.60 mark. But look at all this support and look at this fresh air. This jump was something that we were talking about in yesterday's video, and also I mentioned it inside the CTKS Method service. What happened when dollar yen came down to this algorithmic smart money support area? It bounced, and it bounced hard. And that is exactly what we would expect. This is why CJ said what CJ said. The CTKS method is very, very powerful. And the beautiful thing, you can just learn it yourself, and once you learn it, you can mark up any chart. Returning to Bitcoin, and yes, be on the right side of the percentage is very, very important. One thing that we know, as more and more people understand that Bitcoin is being supported by the world's largest asset management firm, very good things will happen. We would expect positive price momentum because of news like that. A lot of retail and also a lot of institutional investors will look and say, if they're doing it, I can do it. Marking up your charts is incredibly important. You are paid by the market for your synchronization. When you are synchronized, the market pays you money. When you are desynchronized, you pay the market money. With the CTKS method service, there are 3 tiers. Tier 1 are the engine of global financial markets, and you can see they cover a wide variety of things. We literally cover crypto, commodities, indices, risk, and of course stocks. What you're seeing here are 25 places, 25 CTKS method indicators. Each one of these little boxes has an area inside the service where you can see a video. That video has in it an explanation of how to use the CTKS method, how to use the indicators, and how to do your 3-dimensional risk management all the way out to the start of next month. I would suggest to every member who's a member of the CTKS method service, get all of these charts out and view it through one particular web browser. Make sure you go through them every single day. That will give you an incredible feeling as to how the market is moving. You will know things that the professionals dream of. Personally, what I do, I use Microsoft Edge and I do that vertical tab. It's so good. And you can just pop your indicators on and figure out where the smart money is buying and selling. And these indicators, they're just Rolls-Royce quality. You can see already with the S&P 500, it closed at 44.25, but look at all this smart money sell resistance up there at 44.35 and above. Look at how that smart money support shot the price up, but it did have trouble getting through this 44.10 mark, and it consolidated. It was always going to have problems getting through that steep resistance, and of course it tapped it and backed away. That's the kind of behavior that we expect. There are 25 videos inside the service where I explain the dynamics of the specific price charts. That's just a really helpful hint. And you don't have to pay for TradingView, you can actually do it on a free account. Thank you very much, Purpuratum. Hi family, hope you're doing well. Today is a good day to hit the like button. Nice one, my friend. There's a lot of fans of Tesla, so I just wanted to let you know, just in case you're not inside the service, this 261.14 mark is a lot of overhead resistance above that. We've not managed to get through this particular resistance. What actually happens inside financial markets, if you can't get above an SL, you're going down to the next one. These levels are gravitationally biased. Returning to Bitcoin, we have one of those SLs, or a Stanfield level, which is drawn up through the CTKS Method Standards. At 25,552, one of the things that we know, if we get above this resistance and turn it to support, we're headed towards the next smart money sell area, around that 25,927 mark. Just keep these things in mind. They're very, very important to understand. The news of Blackrock, especially taking up Coinbase's arm for custody for the iShares Bitcoin Trust, will absolutely inject enthusiasm back into the crypto market. It could take a little while for it to get here, but it's a very positive development. Crypto does go up and down a lot, and we see the greatest gainers past 24 hours. KuCoin, Token, KCS, Stacks, DYDX, Immutable X, Woo, GMX, CRV, a lot of X's in there. What about the greatest losers past 24 hours? Top 100, HBAR, VET, Matic, DOT, Tezos, LunaC, and Uni. There are always opportunities inside the crypto market. There are always opportunities inside every financial market. The key starts: mark up your charts with the CTKS method. Get into synchronization with all the main charts, those tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 charts. The market pays you for synchronization. Unfortunately, when you're desynchronized, you pay the market. Doing your daily three-dimensional risk management code is very, very powerful. There's a vast difference in process and mindset between professionals and retail. We are a professional community. We are not a retail community. That's why we refer to our 16,000 plus global family as a family of eagles. And you're very, very welcome here. And if you're new, a very warm welcome. And of course, welcome back, CTKS family. With massive volatility, you must keep positive. That's a very important factor. Professionals are optimistic, but they also run the numbers. Wishing you a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.